Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Anwa here once again. Today's tutorial is going to be about how to make a tote bag, and this time I'm not going to leave any holes in between. I'm saying this because of the first tutorial where I made a net bag. This time is going to be all double crochet and from the bottom to the end. And right in front of me, I've started with the base of the bag already, which is going to be in a circle. And if you are wondering how to start a simple circle, I'm going to show you how. But in any case, I have a tutorial on that already where if you can watch the net bag, okay, you would know that or you would also learn that I did a detailed tutorial on how to start the base of the bag. Okay, so you can check that out, or I'll still put the link in the description box below. Okay, yeah, so I'll tell you or I'm going to show you the materials that I'm going to need. So here are the materials for this project, and they are all from Starlight. Okay, they are 100% polypropylene and 200 grams. Now, I think the polypropylene is quite similar to the polyester. I read that the polyester is of a synthetic fiber, and the polypropylene, if I'm mentioning it right, is from the natural fibers. That is the difference it has. But I have not read into details on how or why it's called that. But anyways, this is only a short something I have to tell you about the difference between polyester and polypropylene. Okay, so all the yarn is from Starlight, and I would be using white as well, and dark gray, like I showed you, light gray, and this time I will not be yarning hands. I'll be using the leather hands, or the leather handles for the bag. And then of course my hook is going to be 1.90 millimeter, because this time I want it really tight. So this hook is quite small, but I want it quite tight. That is why I'm going to use this hook, so that my project would be quite firm, okay, and a little bit hard. And then of course my my tape measure, and then my marker, okay, my marker here, and of course my pair of scissors. All right, so let's just dive into the video. Please kindly subscribe, share, find your own yarn. Let's start doing something really simple. It's very simple to understand. Okay, so please let's get going. So I would like to show you how to start a simple flat circle with this yarn. Okay, so please watch how I do this. So this is the position for my working yarn, and this is the tail of my working yarn. Okay, so holding on to both, you leave a little tail on my left. Okay, this is my left hand and this is my right. So this is where my working yarn is coming from. I yarn around my middle and index finger. So first off, you're going to make what we call the invisible circle. I go under one of the thread, then I make a loop. I release my index and middle finger, and then I make 2 chains, 1, 2. So I'm going to make 9 more double crochet. This is a double crochet actually. I'm going to make 9 more double crochets. I yarn over, go through the circle, and then you get 3 on the hook. Pull out 1, you get 2, then you pull through 2. Okay, like that. Please, if you are wondering how, if you are wondering how to do a double crochet, I'll put the link below so you check, or it's in the video as well. It's in one of my videos, so you just have to click on that video, and then you get to understand how to start a simple double crochet. Okay, it's very simple to do. Yeah, so I need 10 of these, and I'm going to make 6 more and then get back to you. And then this is the 10th one. Okay, so when this is done, you have to pull the tail. Now when you pull the tail and it's stuck, that means there's something wrong somewhere. So when you pull, it should be able to move. Yeah, and then keep pulling just to have a small hole in the middle, and then I close like that. So while you do this, just make sure that the tail is also in between the yarns so as to be hidden. Okay, so while you yarn, it's going to be hidden in between the the stitches, and then by so doing it will get finished. Okay, you wouldn't see it anymore. Yeah, so I have closed this and I'm going to make 2 chains on top. All right, so you have 10 double crochets, and in the second row we're going to make 2 double crochets in each row, in each space, or in each chain. So I yarn over and I make 2 double crochets in the very first chain here. Now watch out, from the beginning you're not going to count this, but when you get to this side you count this and the other one together, and then it makes the count. Okay, so let's go on. You understand why I say what I say. So you're going to make double crochet in each chain, 2 double crochets in each chain. Then you make another one. So you see the tail is in between the yarns, and by so doing, when you keep doing this, you wouldn't see it again. It will get finished in between, or yeah, in between the yarns, and then that's it. Sorry if the camera keeps shaking because it's on a table and I think I'm touching it too much. Yeah, so this is just it. I'll just get to this side and get back to you. So I'm almost done with this row. Add 1 more double crochet here. So I close this row by a simple slip stitch like that. Okay, now you realize that with this part I didn't add two double crochets. It was only 1 because there was 1 already here. That was the very first chain I made. Remember, I made the first chain, so this chain is also counted. From the beginning you cannot count. When you end, you make 1 double, you make whatever double crochet you need to make, and then you count that as 1, and then that's it. So in the second row, the first row, you have I call this row, some people call it foundation, and this is a row for me actually. So this is 10. Okay, we have 10 double crochets here, and then the next will be 20 double crochets, and the third you have 30, the next you have 40, and it goes on and on and on. But with the third row, now watch this carefully, you again make 2 chains. Now when you slip stitch or you close a row, every new row should start with a chain. Okay, 2 double chains, which also signifies a double crochet. All right, now I'll make 1 double crochet here in the same chain. So we have 1. Remember, this chain is not counted from the beginning. Yeah, so you have 1. So this is the third row. 1, 2, and then the second and the third chain goes into the same chain. So the third chain goes in with the second chain. 3, like that. Okay, 1, 2, 3. You're going to repeat this until you get to the end. 1, 2, and then 3 goes in with the second. Like that. So this is 1. I'm still on the 3rd row. And then 2, and 3. Okay, now I have to count this, and then I'll close this finally with a slip stitch. Now I'll start the 4th row. So I'll make 2 chains again. So you're going to repeat this until you get your desired number of rows. Now look at how I deal with the 4th row. So I go through the same chain, 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th row goes in with the 3rd chain, like that. So you see, so this is how it's going to be until you get your desired row. Yeah, and also the very first row is 10, second 20, third 30, fourth 40, fifth 50. If you get to the 100th row, it's going to be 100 double crochets. Yeah, so this is how it is. So when you're doing the 5th row, is going to be the 5th and the 4th and the 5th row will go in with the 4th chain. When you are doing 10 row, when you're on the 10th row, the 9th and the 10th double crochets are going to go in with the 9th chain. So that's how it is. Okay, so I'm going to stop here and continue with the real base of the bag. So this is the base of the bag, and I've made about 12 rows. I'm still on the 12th row, and I would still continue until I get to the last end. But before I do that, I want to show you how I get to my stitch marker here. So it's still a double crochet. Okay, so this is 11. This is 11th double crochet, and then I remove my stitch marker, and then I increase, or I put 2 here. So the 2 means I'm going to put the 11th and the 12th double crochet into the 11th chain. Okay, like that. So when I'm done, I look for the next increase, which is this one. You could see that there are 2 2 2 in a row. All right, and then I'll put my stitch marker again. So this is to remind me that I'd have to make my next increase. Okay, so I'll be putting the 11th and the 12th stitch in the 11th chain here. So I'm going to do this. I'll finish with the 12th row. I'm going to add like about, say, 5 more rows to the 6th row until, I mean, we'll see. I don't really know the the number of rows I want yet. So I would see after the 5th row, I would see how big it is. If it's okay with me, I would stop. If not, I may add maybe the 2 more rows or a row to it. All right, so let's continue. Now I have my desired size of the base, which is 16 rows. So in the last video I made about 12 rows and I added 4 more rows to it, so in all we have 16 rows, and I like the size of it. So I would stop increasing and I'll start to decrease. Decreasing simply means I'm not going to put 2 2 2 on the side. It's all going to be 1 1 1 single crochet everywhere until I get to my desired length. Okay, so it's just about the same thing. The only difference is that I am not going to put a 2 here. Okay, I'm just going to put a 1 when I get to the 2. This part here, I'm just going to put 1. I'll put 1 in all the, you know, the double parts or the double corners, and then that's it. And then after you realize that the corners will start to what? Curve. So this way it will begin to form the bag. Okay, yeah, so I'll continue. I'll put 1 double crochet in the very first corner or the very first stitch. Then I'll continue to put double crochet in all the stitches or the chains. It's a really simple crochet bag that everybody can do. So at this point you don't have to even bother to count anything because we have stopped increasing. So the only idea is to have the bag prepared or to start the bag. So I'm almost done with the first round. Okay, and you could see that the ends have started curving, you know, so it has started forming the bag. And so I would continue to do this until I have my desired length, like I said earlier. Then finally close the side. Then make a simple slip stitch from here. You go make 2 chains at the top, and then make a double crochet in the very first chain, and then you continue with the second row of decrease. So I'm going to get back to you after some few rows. And then by the time I come, you would see that the bag is really becoming a bag. You know, you would see that it is really forming. So it's all double crochet throughout. Okay, there's nothing different, there's nothing new. I'm not adding any colors. I'll be adding colors when the gray is done. That's another change. Right, so when I get there, you know. So guys, this is how far I have come with this project. And look at that, I've added 8 more rows to it, and so I'm still not satisfied with the outcome. I would want to make it more bigger, okay, and more longer. I mean, as you can see, it's not very long, or you can, when you add the handles to it, they will not even, it's not very deep. I just want it quite deep, so I'll need to add more rows to it. And at this point I'll be adding this color, this light gray. So I tried doing something. You could see that I have burnt, I don't know if you can see, I have bent this part. So I wanted to bend both parts and then merge them together. I did it, but when I tried, it just it just what you know, it couldn't stand. It was able to hold, but it had to split again. All right, so I'm going to do it the normal way. I'm going to do it the normal way. What I do is that, now when you want to add a new color, okay, so at this point I'll slip stitch. I'll just go through the normal routine, and then make a loop with a new color like that, and then you pull. Okay, now I'll try to maybe melt this part and add it to it, okay, because I feel like it is too, the reason why I chose to bend this is that I feel it's quite slippery, or you know, and so it could slip off easily because of the texture, you know. But let's see, I would go on and on and on and then continue, but I'll try to bend and attach it to this, to the main bag, so that it doesn't slip off. Okay, but I wouldn't do it online here. I'm not going to show you that. After I'm done, I'll show you I'll show you why I do what I do. So let's continue. I'm going to make 2 chains more on top as usual, and then I continue. Okay, so whilst I do this, I had to yarn over the, you know, the extras here, the extra thread or the tail of the thread that I just joined of the yarn. Then I continue. Keep this down so that I can do the rest. So let's see if it's hidden. When you do this, they get, you don't see them. So little by little you yarn over, okay, and then you hide the thread, and then you continue. Yeah, so in all I have about 20, or I have 20 rows, plus the new row that I just started will be 21. If I have to finish, it will be 21 rows in all. And this is how the back looks like. This is a dark gray and this is a light gray, and I mean, I love the, you know, the blending in it. It looks really nice, and I'll be topping up with a full white on top. And then I want it as long as this, maybe this height. I've not measured, but at least I know the number of rows, you know. Yeah, so we keep on going and going, and it's quite deep as well. I want it more deeper so that when I have to attach the handles, they are really going to, you know, hang on me really beautifully. Yeah, so let's go ahead. So at this point, I'm going to add the other color to it. I'll add white. So I'll just cut off and then start with the white color. So this is the white I'll be using. They are all of the same brand, yeah. So if you see it, it was an older project I did that I had to on yarn, so I'll be using this white. Okay, and I just leave a simple tail or a short tail, and then you hold on. Okay, and then you slip off like this. Make 2 chains, and then we continue. So you try to yarn over these 2 until you don't see them anymore, just to keep them secured so that it doesn't slip off. Continue. So little by little, they would, you know, you'd have to just hide them in between the yarn, the stitches until they get finished, and then you finish working. So I'll be adding some more rows. In all, we have 21 rows, and so this is the 22nd row. Maybe I'll add, let's say I'll be adding like 5 more rows, or maybe, let's see, I don't know yet. So let's see how much. All will depend on the length, this, or how it pleases me, you know. So let's see how I'm able to you know, add the, you know, more. I'll get back to you when I had to add more rows, and then we see what to do next. So in all, I've been able to make 30 rows, and I'm really satisfied with the length of the bag, and it's very, very deep, like the way I want it. So I'll go ahead to close the row, okay, and then I would attach my handles to it. So at this point, I'm going to go through the stitches very carefully, and so that it wouldn't look messy, and then I would finally melt it and attach it to the bag. Okay, so I'm using, I don't know if I, from the beginning, I showed you this is a big eye needle for this kind of work. Okay, so how I do this So I go through some of the, the stitches like so. Okay, then I try to go down a little bit from here. So I did the rest off camera, and after I was done, I had to burn off. This is the tip of it. I had to burn off. I don't know if you can see. It's this part here. Okay, and then I burned the tip, and then I attached it to this one. Because the whole thing is, I mean, can easily melt, so it was easy to attach it to the bag, so that it doesn't on yarn. Yeah, so I'll go ahead to attach my handles, and let me show you the outcome. This is the length of the bag. Okay, at this point, because of the camera position, I cannot make it stand. Let me finish first. Okay, so the bag is going to be somewhere, the handles are going to be somewhere here, okay, on both sides. And I mean, I just love the colors. I was looking for the black color, but I couldn't find, and so I'm like, okay, so let's go with dark gray, light gray, and then a white. And so let me show you the remaining of the yarn. Let me show you. So in the end, this is what, if you started watching me from the beginning, you would see the full yarn. Okay, so this is what was left. Okay, and this is the gray, and then this is the white. Sorry for the the noise background. I think it's the construction going on out there. Yeah, so this is the remaining of the whole thing. All right, and so you can go ahead in case you are interested. I'll see if I could get a link for you to purchase, and it's really worth it too. I got only 3 colors and everything was done. Okay, I'm so happy. So in case you want a full bag, I think 2 will do. 2 or 2.5 will do. So you can buy 3 in case you want the same length, or depending on what you really want. 3 will do, maybe. Yeah. So let's go ahead and attach the handles. This is the first bag handle, and I just love the finish, so I'll go ahead to attach the second part, or the other side. So this is the other side of the bag. I'll show you what I did. So looking at the white part, I had to count from the down 1 2 3, and then I'm going to start from here, and it should be in between the stitches here. Okay, so that's what I did. I hope it's going to turn out well, because I didn't measure from the first one. I just used my hands like that, which is a really bad idea because I felt quite lazy, so I used the same measurements for the side here. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to place it like that. Okay, and then I'll start. But before I do, I'm using the same yarn, the white yarn, and I put them together like that. The measurement was about 2 of the tape measure, to the length of the tape measure. Yeah, so holding on like that. Okay. Okay, and so and I had to go from the side. Then I pull, and then you leave a small tail, okay, at the back, and then you go from here. just make sure that the back is okay. See, just always have to check the back to see if it's not holding on to anything. Okay, then keep pulling, pull nicely. Okay, like that. So you're going to continue like this until you get to the last end. So at this point, I'm going to go through some of the stitches here. So I'm going to bend off this tip here. Then I attach it to it. I'm going to do the same thing to the side. Remember the first tail, go through the stitches very nicely and then cut it off, burn just like I did with this one, and then also fix the other handle to this side. Okay, so I'll be doing this off camera and then get back to you. So finally the two handles are attached nicely, and this is the final product. And I mean, I am so obsessed with this bag, man. I'm so obsessed. So you can make this for yourself, and you can change colors as well. You can I think I have a tutorial on how to make a crochet handle as well with a net bag. You can also attach a net a crochet handle to it, or even with this this leather handles if you get to purchase one. And I mean, this is just it's a very simple tote bag, and you can take it to the office, or even it serves as an office bag, a beach bag, even a market bag as well. Yeah, so I mean, it is, the uses of this bag is just too many. Yeah, and thank you so much for having time for this tutorial, and I guess you love what you saw, and I'll be happy if you could try this on your own. And it could even be a business venture for you as well. You could make this for a friend. And please share, comment, subscribe, like, and if there's anything you want to add, please add and let's vibe together. Okay, thank you, and see you on my next tutorial. Have a nice time. Bye bye.